I stood at the kitchen window every morning at 7:30. Same spot. Same cup of coffee. Same empty driveway. 12 years of waiting will do that to you. My daughter Rebecca didn't die. She didn't disappear. She just stopped coming home. And somehow that felt worse. Because every single day, I woke up knowing she was out there somewhere, living a life that didn't include me. The last time I saw her, she was 23 years old. We had a fight. A stupid, meaningless fight about her boyfriend, about her choices, about things that don't matter now. She slammed the door so hard the picture frames shook. I heard her car start. I heard the tires screech as she backed out too fast. I thought she'd come back the next day. She didn't. Welcome to A Parent Never Forgets. If you love emotional parent and family stories, subscribe and stay with us. I tried calling her at first. Every day for 3 months straight. The phone would ring, and then I'd hear her voice on the voicemail. Hey, it's Becca. Leave me a message. But she never called back. My husband Daniel tried to stay strong for both of us. She'll come around, he'd say, sitting across from me at the dinner table that suddenly felt too big. She just needs time, Linda. But time kept passing. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. And before I knew it, a year had passed without a single word. I kept her room exactly the same. Her stuffed animals still sat on the shelf. Her debate team trophy still stood on the dresser. Sometimes I'd go in there and just sit on her bed, running my hands over the quilt her grandmother made. The house felt haunted by her absence. Birthdays were the hardest. On her 25th birthday, I baked her favorite cake anyway. German chocolate with extra coconut frosting. Daniel and I sat at the table with 2 slices and an empty chair. We sang happy birthday to the silence. Her 26th birthday came. Then her 27th. Each year I baked the cake. Each year the empty chair seemed to get bigger. I thought about that fight constantly. I'd replay it in my mind, changing my words, choosing different reactions. What if I'd been calmer? What if I'd listened instead of lecturing? What if I'd hugged her instead of crossing my arms? The boyfriend she'd been defending. They broke up 6 months after she left. I'd been right about him. But being right had cost me everything. My friends didn't know what to say after the first year. Any word from your daughter? They'd ask carefully. I shake my head and change the subject. It was easier than explaining that my daughter had simply erased me from her life. Sarah, my best friend, was the only one who really understood. She's young, Sarah would tell me over coffee. Young people do thoughtless things. They don't realize how much time they're wasting until it's gone. I started writing letters around year 5. Long letters that I never sent. I'd pour everything onto paper. My regrets, my memories, my desperate love. I told her about her father's promotion. About the new restaurant downtown. About the neighbor's cat who had kittens. I filled 3 notebooks with letters she'd never read. Year 7 was when I finally hired a private investigator. I needed to know if she was safe. The investigator found her in 3 days. She was living in Colorado. She had an apartment, a job at a marketing firm. Life. She was fine. She just didn't want us in it. That somehow hurt more than the not knowing. Daniel held me that night while I sobbed. Maybe it's time to let go, he whispered, his own voice cracking. But how do you let go of your own child? How do you stop loving someone you would die for without hesitation? Couldn't. So I kept waiting. Year 10 felt significant. Decade. An entire decade of absence. Rebecca was 33 now, the same age I'd been when I had her. Daniel's mother passed away in year 11. I thought maybe this would bring Rebecca home. Surely she'd come for her grandmother's funeral. I waited at the church, scanning every face. She never came. She sent anonymous flowers instead. Cried for 3 days straight. Year 12 arrived like all the others. Quietly, painfully, inevitably. It was a Tuesday morning in October when I stood at that kitchen window with my coffee. The leaves were turning gold and red. And like every other morning for 12 years, I watched the empty driveway. Except this morning a car pulled up. A small blue sedan I didn't recognize. My heart started pounding. I set my coffee down with shaking hands. Watched as the driver's door opened. And there she was. Rebecca. Older now, her face more angular, her hair shorter. But unmistakably my daughter. She stood beside her car for a long moment, staring at the house. I could see her hands trembling. Could see her take several deep breaths. The doorbell rang. Daniel appeared beside me. "Do you want me to?" "No," I said softly. "I'll go." Open the door. She stood on our porch, tears already streaming down her face. "Hi, Mom," she whispered. I pulled her into my arms and held on with everything I had. She collapsed against me, sobbing. "I'm sorry," she kept saying. "I'm so sorry." I couldn't speak. Could only hold her and cry. We sat in the living room. I made tea with shaking hands. "I know I don't deserve forgiveness," Rebecca started. "I was so angry back then, and that anger became this wall. The longer I waited, the harder it got to climb over it." "What changed?" Daniel asked gently. Rebecca took a shaky breath. "I got pregnant." My hand flew to my mouth. "I'm 5 months along," she said, placing a hand on her stomach. "And when I felt the baby move, all I could think about was you, Mom. About how much you must have loved me. About how nothing could make me stop loving this baby." She was sobbing now. "And I realized what I'd done to you. I had to try to fix this. Even if you slammed the door in my face." I took her hands in mine. "Rebecca, look at me. I never stopped loving you. Not for one single second. You're my daughter. That doesn't change. That will never change. I don't deserve." "Stop. You're here now. That's what matters." We sat together for hours that day, slowly building a bridge over 12 years of silence. Before she left, Rebecca hugged me tight. "Can I come back?" she asked. "Every day if you want," I told her. "This is your home. It always has been." That night, I stood at the kitchen window one last time with Daniel beside me. 12 years, he said quietly. 12 years, I echoed. Was it worth it? The waiting. I thought about all the pain and loneliness and grief. About the empty birthdays and silent Christmases. "Yes," I said finally. Because she came home. Some wounds take years to heal. But love, real parental love, doesn't give up. Wait, hopes. It keeps the porch light on, even when the night seems endless. My daughter came home after 12 years. And I'd wait 12 more if I had to. 'Cause that's what parents do. This is a fictional story created for emotional storytelling purposes.